Hey guys, I wanted to make this video about essential oils and absolutes and how they're different. This is going to be a very generic, very um, not detailed video, and it probably won't be long at all, but we will make more. I do really want to do this because I'm passionate about essential oils, candles, fragrance products, things like that. So I really do know in the future we will be doing more. I'm going to read, I'm going to source this to, this is from Chat GPT, who gave this information because I wanted to make sure that my knowledge was correct on these things, which was exactly what I thought. But basically, an absolute is absolute and essential oils are both, I'll just read this, both concentrated plant extracts used in perfumery, aromatherapy, and cosmetics, but they differ on how they're extracted and what they contain. Okay? So essential oils are typically steam distilled. That's the number one way that essential oils are created, from steam distillation. Like the peel of the lemon, they steam it. The steam rises, it falls down with the water and the oil, and then they separate. They take the oil out of the water. The water they use as something called a hydrosol, which we'll go into that at another time. The contents are volatile aromatic compounds only, no waxes, resins, or heavy molecules. So they're all natural. Volatile means that they're strong, that they're pure. It doesn't mean like bad. So don't misunderstand the word volatile. The texture, thin and oily. For essential oils, they're thin and oily. And examples of essential oils are lavender, peppermint, lemon, orange. There are so many. It's not even funny. There are more essential oils that you see and hear of than there are absolutes. But what is an absolute? So an absolute is an extraction method, solvent extraction, meaning they use solvents like hexane and alcohol. Now, we at Lemos Crystals use hexane free. When we purchase absolutes, we use hexane free. That's more expensive too. It's more expensive to purchase hexane free solvents to extract the oil, or the product, I should say, because it's not really an essential oil, it's an absolute. I'll make it easier in a second here. The contents contain more complex aromatic compounds, including waxes, pigments, resins, closer to the plant's true scent. The texture is often thicker, sometimes waxy or resinous, like a resin feeling. Okay. Before I get to the key differences, I'm kind of going to explain this generically so you get it. Vanilla is an absolute. So in and of itself, vanilla, and we just got some in, we got some Madagascar vanilla in. This is vanilla. This is they have to use a carrier oil in order for us to use it in our mixes and blends and even sell it as Madagascar vanilla. So they use, in this case, they use golden jojoba oil, golden jojoba carrier oil, and in this vanilla. It's called vanilla bourbon infusion. It contains no alcohol, by the way. And just because they do use alcohol to extract it, that doesn't mean that there's alcohol contained in the final product. That's another thing to keep in mind. Please note that. So if you get an absolute, Jasmine's an absolute. Very expensive absolute. I'm not sure if, you know what, I should know this, but I'm not sure if Neroli is, but Neroli's a very expensive. I think that's an absolute too, I really do. Or it might be an essential oil. I'm going to check that. That's something I need to check now. Now it's on my checklist. Okay, the key differences are, with essential oils, is the extraction, the composition, the aromatherapy use, the scent profile, and common uses. So essential oils are essentially used more often, and they're more common. You don't hear of many people saying, "Oh, I'm diffusing my vanilla essential oil today," because there's no such thing as a vanilla essential oil. They would be diffusing vanilla that is in a carrier oil called an absolute. So the absolutes are solvent extracted by hexane or alcohol. So they use hexane or alcohol, not steam distillation like the essential oils, to extract the aroma, the essence of the plant or of the item, the particular thing. So they do include waxes, pigments, and resins. So in other words, let's look at it like this. You make coffee and you use K-cup, and your K-cup, the hole is a little bigger than what drips out. Some of the little bit of the coffee grounds drop into your coffee. So you have a couple of little coffee grounds that float around in your coffee. That's all that's basically saying. Nothing that's going to harm you. They're just as safe as essential oils, especially when sourced correctly. And that's why you have to trust your essential oil and or absolute provider. A lot of people will commonly just say, like, even we market our vanilla as Madagascar vanilla. We market it like that under our essential oil section. We don't have a section for absolutes. There's no section for that. Maybe we should put a star to indicate that it's an absolute or whatever, but we don't do that. So just know that if you go to our website, lemoscrystals.com, Lemos crystals.com. They're less preferred in most cases, may have trace solvents in them, like trace solvents, whereas essential oils are more, they're just as pure. This is going to sound like it makes no sense. They're just as pure, but there's not just as pure. So they're just as pure, but they might contain that little coffee ground, or they might contain a little bit of the resin or something, because they were extracted using alcohol or hexane solvents, not steam distillation or cold pressed or CO2 like essential oils, because essential oils are extracted using one of those three methods. CO2 is very expensive. I can get CO2 essential oils, but it's very expensive. The essential oil actually comes in solid form when it's CO2 extracted. They are the most potent and the most pure of all is CO2 extraction. The most common use of extraction for essential oils is steam distillation because it's cheaper, it's easier. The second most common is called cold pressing, where they do, if you can imagine, like in Italy or Greece or whatever, and they're pressing the olives, and they press them really hard, and then the water and the oil drips down into a pan, and then they separate the oil from the water, and there you go. And by the way, olive oil is a carrier oil. It is technically a carrier oil. So you could use olive oil if you wanted to. Let's say you get a hot oil from us, like cinnamon or clove, even frankincense maybe. That's something you don't want to put directly on your skin because it might burn a little bit. Like clove is, or peppermint. Those are all considered, we got things that we call hot oils. It's like a nickname for them. And it doesn't mean they're bad, but those are the ones that you want to dilute a little bit prior to putting on your skin, more than likely. Plus, even like our lavender. Lavender typically doesn't irritate or bother anyone. I use lavender straight or neat. It's also another word you'll hear in the upcoming videos that we do. But by putting a little, I use fractionated coconut oil for my carrier oil. By putting that in there, it lasts longer. Because if I put this lavender on my pulse points after taking a shower to calm myself down, and I put it on pure or neat, it's going to evaporate quicker, and it's going to leave quicker. If I add a little coconut fractionated carrier oil on it, it will stay on my skin longer. It will absorb through my skin. You know that you are absorbed when you put essential oils on your skin. You are ingesting them just through your pores. There are several ways to ingest. Some people put them in capsules. Some people put them under their tongue. A couple drops under their tongue of lemon or whatever, peppermint, whatever. Some people, people do a variety of different things. But when you put them on your skin, you are essentially ingesting that oil because it's going through your skin and it's going into your bloodstream. And lavender has been proven scientifically to not only work on relaxation, but so many things. It is the most, at first I didn't even like the smell of lavender. Now I've gotten used to it now, but I didn't like it at first. It is the most versatile oil out there. And that's because it does so many things. It's an insect repellent. It's used for perfume and perfumery. It's good to make sprays with. It's good. You can ingest. Please consult with a physician. I am not a physician and I'm not giving medical advice. I'm going to say my opinion. I would ingest it in a capsule, a couple drops in a capsule for relaxation purposes rather than using a pharmaceutical medication. But I am not giving medical advice. Just want to make that clear in case this goes on any platform that thinks that that's the case. This is an informational video only. And I'm not a medical professional. Please consult with your physician before ingesting or putting anything on topical, whether it's from Walgreens, whether it's one of our essential oils or anyone's essential oils or anything like that prior to use. We do have to say that. That's a legal disclaimer, literally, because otherwise we could be held accountable. So I think I said this, I have really bad ADD. I apologize. And I always say this in all my videos. People probably said, oh, we already know that, dude. They're lighter and sharper. Absolutes are lighter and sharper, and they're perfumery higher end products. So they're typically in your higher end, like vanilla is expensive. Vanilla is very expensive. You wouldn't believe how expensive vanilla is because it takes so much to get so little. Even with the hexane and the alcohol, we don't use hexane. We're hexane free at Lemos Crystals. We don't use hexane. To us, we consider that a toxin. We don't use it. I'm not coming down on anyone who does use it. We just prefer not to. Just like we prefer not to use different things. So in summary, and then I'll close. I don't want to bore you. It's been a whole, 12 minutes here. In summary, use essential oils for therapeutic, natural skincare and diffusing. Use absolutes for fine perfumery and capturing complex flower aromas like jasmine or rose. Rose is also an absolute. That's a big one, and I forgot it. It's a very, very expensive one. And I believe Neroli is too, now that I'm thinking of it. But as soon as I get off, I'm checking that. So we know that jasmine, vanilla, and rose are all absolutes. They are not essential oils. They're absolutes. And the flower aromas like that don't yield well to distillation. In other words, they don't distill well. You need so many roses. Do you know how many roses you need for, I don't have a 5 milliliter bottle around me or I'd show you, but if for a 5 milliliter bottle of rose like this, you would need probably a pickup truck full of rose petals. And I'm not talking like with air in between on them. I'm talking about packed to get a 5 milliliter of essential oil or absolute. Sorry, I even had to correct myself. An absolute, which is like an essential oil, essentially. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comments. And also, you can follow me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Peter Lemos. I have Lemos Crystals business page on Facebook. I am on TikTok under Lemos Crystals. I am on Instagram under Lemos Crystals. I am on Zoom. And I am on WeChat under Lemos Crystals or Peter Lemos. Either way, you can find me on any of those platforms. I'm also on Viber, but I don't use it much because I'm really weird about giving out my home phone number, and it shows my home phone number. So now if you want it, I guess you just got it. And then also, and then lastly but not least, I am definitely, we are working slowly but surely in the next couple of months. We're going to have it up and running and functional and shoppable and everything. lemoscrystals.com. So that is a website that I do own. One thing I do own that I can not get in trouble for any terms of service violations or anything like that. And again, I did make that disclaimer, and we'll make it again, that please note to consult with a physician, a veterinarian, or anyone else who is qualified to tell you whether or not you should ingest, use, topically, orally, or any other way, anything. It can be dirt outside in your front yard. You want to put a mud mask on, consult with your physician first. I know that sounds silly, but it's something we have to say, and we have a disclaimer also on lemoscrystals.com, our website, for the same reason. So, for this episode of Essential Oils versus Absolutes, my name is Peter Lemos, and I'll see you soon, guys. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful summer. Summer's coming. Have fun.